Welcome to the Connectometrics podcast. My name is Will Gladhart. I'm the president of market development at Connectometrics. We're a premier outfitter of growth and performance and analytics solutions. I'm here today with my guest, Kyle Danner. Kyle has been a part of every aspect of family businesses. He grew up and worked in a family business and own a business with his family. He also knows what it's like to leave the business and start a fresh chapter in life. He understands families and owners want to position their businesses for the future. That's why he started Solutions for Family Business. When everyone isn't on the same page, it's easy to feel like you don't have a grip on family business. As a professional EOS implementer, Kyle can help clarify, simplify, and achieve your vision to get more out of your family business. And you can find Kyle online at kyledanner.com or on LinkedIn. So good morning, Kyle, and welcome.
Thanks, Will. How are you this morning?
I'm very well, thanks. Just enjoying the spring and the sunshine for a change. Excellent. So our topic today, Kyle, is family business challenges. How to improve culture and engagement. And the reason that we're here today is to discuss the challenges family businesses are facing, the impact of company culture in the present new normal, and share tactics Kyle has learned as ways to lead during transitions and challenges. All right, let's hop into questions I have for Kyle regarding culture challenges facing family businesses and leadership tips that he's going to share. So my first question, Kyle, is what makes running a family business so challenging in the first place?
Will, I always say that family business is really about balancing the heart with the checkbook. And so if you think about how family businesses typically begin, mom and or dad get an idea to start a business, and they then turn to family members to help out because the labor is cheap or it's free, and all of a sudden it becomes a family project. So like dad's doing the bookkeeping, maybe the son's doing the social media, the daughter's helping fill orders while mom's out doing sales. Well, over time, the business, it starts to grow, it gets some legs. The family never steps back to really put some structure in the business. So there's confusion about really who's responsible for what. And that's where you start seeing some challenges, some conflicts getting in, and then you start hiring employees. And employees can often be friends or relatives, and they're even thought of or referred to as family. So what you have is you kind of have this really mixed roles, unclear boundaries. When are we family? When are we not? So it gets to be real confusing because when am I the mom? When am I the CEO? When am I the owner? And that all that lack of clarity can really end up people knocking heads with one another.
Right. So, something that you'd mentioned in a prior blog, Kyle, was, the understanding people's roles in the business and how important it was to create the right organizational structure. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So there is if you picture 3 interlocking circles, this is kind of a classic diagram in the family business literature. And yeah, there is a huge body of literature around family business. And so you think about the roles that family members or people in a family business can hold. So you have the family, you have the ownership role, and you have the business role. And what ends up happening is that these roles tend to overlap one another. So you're never quite sure, like, am I really the mom at the moment, or am I the director of sales, or am I the owner? Or really, what is my priority? Is it about taking care of my son, who's responsible for marketing, or is it making sure that I'm talking to my marketing person about getting the best return on our investment? So these roles collapse on on top of one another, and so that creates a lot of confusion for people to understand, where am I coming from when talking with one another?
Right. So is there any solutions that you've come across that help kind of mitigate those issues or fix that for family businesses? In terms of organizational structure?
Yeah, so what I recommend to people is, like, the number one thing is you've got to be able to talk about these things. But to be able to talk about it is you got to slow the conversation down. So when I will conduct family meetings at times, I'll introduce that 3-circle model, family, business, ownership. And I'll actually have name cards or like the table tents that says, son or director of marketing or owner or whatever. And before anybody can say anything in the meeting, they have to give a thought to, well, exactly what role am I speaking from? And so then they have to put that name card out in front so everybody can see. So it's clear that when mom is talking, that she's really speaking as a mother, not as a business owner. And so it's kind of bringing in that structure in the first place to slow the conversation down and create some clarity around what's my motivation for what I'm saying at this moment.
Right. Well, that sounds like that's a great exercise and tactic to get people clear about their role in the business, but also what the conversation is going to be. So, Kyle, you recently shared 6 ways to lead the family business through anxious times, which we're certainly experiencing now. Can you share 2 of those insights today and how business owners can immediately implement those behaviors or practices?
First one is really, it's simple, but it's actually hard to do. And the first one is just to, question your first reaction. All right. We're dealing with the current crisis with COVID-19, the constant stream of news. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of anxiety. And our go-to response is to simply react. Someone brings us a problem and we want to react so we can kind of get it out of our way and get moving. And what I really recommend folks do is, as best you can, is pause 15 to 30 seconds. Okay, you'll have your first reaction, but pause and really ask yourself, is this my best thinking? And kind of that short pause and self-check is a small step you can take to kind of maybe slow the process down.
Okay. Yeah. What would be a second tip?
The next one is to just simply be open and honest. Right now, we are dealing with a tremendous amount of uncertainty. We don't know when we're going to get through the COVID-19 crisis at the moment. Everybody's got their theories and their models, but we really don't know. And this uncertainty creates a lot of stress for us. So the other thing is your first response may be to try and bluff your way through an answer, to try and calm your team down, to calm your family down. And instead, what I would recommend is see it as an opportunity. Be open and honest. Say, I don't know yet, but let's figure this out together. And the words are very specific. So I don't know yet means that we're looking for solutions, but let's figure this out together creates an opening for other people to step up and to take some of the responsibility for what's happening. Because here's what's so many business owners are frustrated with it right now, and family business owners too, is that people are coming in and they're dumping all of their stress and anxiety all over them and wanting to leave so they feel better. Well, saying, I don't know yet, but let's figure this out together, it creates an opening to have more of a conversation and to share in the responsibility in solving the problem.
Yeah, that's some really great insight, Kyle. I really appreciate you sharing some of your thoughts and expertise. Do you have any additional thoughts you'd like to leave us with today?
I would say the other thing, Will, is when you're having conversations with your team, someone brings you a problem or a challenge, and probably your first reaction is why? Why is this happening? Why can't we get this right? And the challenge is when you respond with why, is it sounds like you're making an accusation, and it also kind of invites some mind reading. Well, why did he do that, or why is this happening? Instead, step back and ask fact-based questions. Ask who, what, where, when, and how. And starting questions with those words, that encourages more thinking. That encourages more of a thoughtful response. So you really get more into the facts so you can actually correct whatever challenge or face whatever challenge you're facing at the moment.
I love that. And leaving it back to fact-based questions is important, but also asking the open-ended questions instead of shutting people down is key as well. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So Kyle, in our next session, we're actually going to be discussing how do you put the right people in place and in the right seats in a family business? And is there an outside manager or Is it outside management or a professional management solution the answer for the family business? And then, as well as, you'll be sharing some additional tips on leading through anxious times. So just quickly to close, if you're interested in participating in a live public analytics poll that's creating a just-in-time snapshot of how leaders and employers are being impacted by today's new normal and transitioning workforce, you may participate in one of our polls at no cost, and it is also anonymous. You can visit bit.ly/culture think tank 2020 for the public poll, which is a live culture behaviors dashboard and more. So Kyle, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to continuing the discussion on family business, performance, and leadership. Have a great day.